commodity. All of these other altcoins are unregistered securities. They're all just equity tokens issued by a company in order to get around going public, and they're committing securities fraud.
Ethereum included.
Of course, especially Ethereum. You know, Ethereum's got $20 billion of ETH token locked up in the staking contract right now, and there's a couple of people that may or may not give it back to you ever. Now, isn't that the definition of investment contract? If a bank took $20 billion of your assets, froze the window and said you can't have your money back ever, maybe in the year 2024, we're not sure. We're just going to keep it. We may actually give you interest on it. We may take it all. We may, we may slash it. That's the definition of a security, right? It's an investment of money in a common enterprise, relying upon the efforts of others and expectation of profit. The whole point is, if you want a crypto asset to be a commodity, you can't rely upon 4 engineers, a company, a CEO. If a person can make a decision, it's not a commodity anymore. The fact is, Ripple's got a company, Ethereum's got a company. Ethereum Foundation has engineers. You are literally waiting on the engineers that work for the Ethereum Foundation to write the code to give you your money back. And then you're also waiting to find out what the monetary policy will be. They change it half a dozen times in the last 6 years. It's always changing.
To you, it's XRP and Ripple the same thing?
They're both unregistered securities. XRP and XRP is just the equity token of Ripple. Yeah. I mean, it seems quite obvious, right? If you want a roadmap for how you create a commodity, you have to do it the way Satoshi did it. You create a protocol, you give it to the world, you disclaim beneficial ownership of it, you disclaim control of it, and you disappear. That's what Satoshi did. It was a gift to the world. If the founder's still around and the founder is a billionaire and the founder is spending hundreds of millions or billions of dollars to defend the token, isn't it obvious that it's a software company with an equity? So I think that that's pretty evident with all these crypto tokens. What you have is the complete sham Ponzi schemes, like the collapse in a hurry, like Terra Luna. Then you have crypto tokens that are unregistered securities that are perhaps somewhat pseudo-competently managed that don't collapse, but they're still unregistered securities, which makes them unethical to promote. And then you have cryptocurrencies like Tether and Circle. They attempt to have backing, right? Circle purports to have 100% backing for their coin. We know that like 83% of Tether deposits are backed by U.S. Treasuries, if you're to believe their attestations. But again, those are not publicly traded companies. So I think the one thing that's missing in the crypto industry is, by and large, nearly everybody in the crypto market has never taken a company public. They don't understand securities law. They're like, if you're going to be kind, you're going to say they're well-meaning technologists that are enthusiastically pursuing new ideas. But generally, they're pursuing new ideas in an irresponsible, inappropriate, unethical fashion.
Is that based on greed? What is that based on?
The same reason Sam did it is one part greed, one part enthusiasm, go fast and break things, one part lack of adult supervision, right? What you could say is that the regulators ought to just be very, very clear. If you were very clear, you'd say, look, you've got like 180 days in order to register your token with the SEC, and you register and fill out these forms, give us all these facts, answer our questions, and we'll tell you whether you're a currency, whether or not you're a commodity, whether or not you're a security, and whether or not you're allowed to trade. And at the end of the 180 days, if you haven't actually registered, you're shut down and nobody can buy and sell and trade this thing anywhere in the world. And that would actually clean up the industry in a hurry.
I got a crazy question for you. Can you pull up the article that I sent you a bunch of articles while we're talking? Pull up the one about Maxine, her tweet. If you
Maxine
can pull
Waters?
up Maxine Waters. Here's her tweet that just came out. We appreciate SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. We appreciate that you've been candid in your discussions about what happened at FTX. Your willingness to talk to the public will help the company's customers, investors, and others. To that end, we would welcome your participation in our hearing on the 13th. Wow, she speaks more respectfully to a young kid than she does to a former president, which is interesting how her style of communication. But, I will tell you this. So you know how the story just came out with Twitter and Hunter Biden, okay? And Talibi, that is the one that put the tweet out. There was a whole 5.5 hour.
Talib?
No.
Matt Taibbi?
Matt Taibbi, yeah.
Gotcha.
There was a Twitter live yesterday hosted by Mario. He invited me on, myself, Elon, and Jordan Peters. There was like 8 of us that were supposed to be on. I was on a freaking flight back. I missed the call, but I heard everybody has to listen to it if you haven't heard it. That's when Elon Musk confirmed, I have no desire to commit suicide. The question was asked, which was kind of interesting. But there was a part where he talked about he certainly has to be protecting himself because he wouldn't be surprised. His life is at risk, in other words, kind of the way he put it. So the more and more these guys go through the emails and they find out how the Twitter executives were communicating with the Biden administration on what stories to post and what stories not to post and how he was colluding and all this other stuff. And some people are now saying, well, at the time when he was colluding, he wasn't a president. These stories that are spinning. And then you hear a story that comes out that 3 crypto billionaires died. I don't know if you saw that one or not. If you want to pull that up, go a little lower, zoom in and go a little lower. 3 crypto bosses died in recent weeks. I think these guys were all billionaires. Nikolai Musherian, 29 years old. Tian Kulander, 30 years old. And Vyacheslav Tehran, 53 years old. All of a sudden, they all died within a week. It's kind of weird.
Do you know what countries they're from?
I mean, it's all over the place. One is Russia. Anyways, you can kind of see where these stories are coming from. Russian entrepreneurs are one of them. The causes of deaths are helicopter, stay at the top. I was reading it. Helicopter crash while sleeping and drowning. Kind of weird. Helicopter crash while sleeping and drowning.
Those are the 3 different
Those are the 3, which that's a little weird for them.
Helicopter
So one
crash
near
while
Monaco
sleeping and drowning.
And then, so this is kind of weird. Now, here's the part. Some of these guys who know a lot, if they know, I don't know if you've seen the story or not. If not, I can read it for you, Michael, if you're not following it. So the 53-year-old Russian is a third cryptocurrency boss to be found dead under his mysterious circumstances after his helicopter crash near Monaco. Indeed, it appears that the crash occurred in good weather conditions and after another passenger allegedly canceled the flight last minute, thus raising suspicions. For these very reasons, the deputy prosecutor from Nice, who visited the scene, said that the fault of a third party cannot be ruled out. Terran, co-founder of the trading and investment platform Libertex and Forex Club, and was flying from Lausanne with an experienced pilot in a single-engine H-130 helicopter when it crashed around 1 p.m. on 25th of November. The 35-year French pilot was also killed. Anyways, we can go on with all these stories. So here's the part. So you're seeing how Maxine Waters and many of these folks, he had an event with Bill Clinton, he had an event with a lot of these guys, they're being extremely, extremely respectful to this SBF guy. Now, as a street person who grew up watching power plays and different kind of things being done and who respected who for what motives, they're being very careful with this guy. Does he know some things that they don't want people to know about? Is there some speculation there? Did these 3 bosses on the crypto side that are going, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that you're hearing about. Just a lot of weird things going on in your space, okay? Do you have any commentary on everything I just said here?
Yeah, well, helicopters are dangerous. That's my first comment. Probably 10 to 20x more dangerous than traveling in an airplane. And, Kobe, died in a helicopter. Lots of people die in helicopters. So that's tragic if it's just a helicopter wreck. There's a war in Ukraine. There's Russians, Ukrainians are caught in a life and death struggle. And so there's a ton
The difference is if LeBron, Kobe, and Michael died the same week, it's a little weird.
No, I'm agreeing with you. If you're a Russian with access to a huge amount of money moving freely through Europe in the middle of in a time period when there's a war between Ukraine and Russia, right? You got to wonder what money was moving to whom, and
Right.
maybe
That's why I asked what country these guys
maybe
were
you
located in.
maybe you stiffed the wrong person. I don't know, but I don't have any insight one way or the other. What I'd say is be careful around helicopters. That's my first thing I'd say. Second, it's not easy in Europe right now for a Ukrainian or a Russian, right? It's not easy for anybody, especially for someone in the middle of a war. It's a tough time.